Did you know that addiction costs the economy $740 billion annually? This shows how much effect that has on us and the society around us. Addiction is a condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. It's a compulsive engagement in a reward stimulus, despite the many consequences that it can have on you. My purpose today is to teach us about the many different addictions that are out there and the effects it has on us mentally and physically. Most people, when they think about addictions, they automatically think drugs, but addiction is an umbrella to many different things, like entertainment or social media or gambling, and these are the things I'm gonna be talking about. Drugs has become a way for people to escape from their troubles, fit in, or heal them. Most people take drugs to distract them from their problem, but what it does is just avoid it for the moment until it comes back again, then you gotta use drugs, and it becomes this cycle of this addiction. And there was an organization called Health Talk that did an experiment on people and said that through their experiences, the people we talked to had learned that using drugs or alcohol doesn't solve difficulty, family, relationship, or emotional problems. They said that people who are having problems should keep away from drugs and alcohol because it can make things worse. And not only does it not fix your problems, but it actually just causes it to be even worse than what it was normally. Another reason why people use drugs is to heal them from their problems, like example, marijuana. But what marijuana does is mess with your cognition in your brain, specifically a chemical called serotonin. And serotonin is a chemical that modulates mood and behavior or memory or emotions. So when you use drugs, you actually stop the reabsorption of those chemicals, not making it natural anymore, and all your emotions comes from marijuana. So that's why people feel like I feel better when I smoke weed, because it's not natural, it comes from the drugs itself. And drugs are not the only thing that have bad effect on you. Another thing is gambling. Gambling, most people think that people are addicted to gambling because of repetition, but gambling can just be addiction just by doing it once, because it causes a reward structure in your mind, in your brain, and activates it and causes you to have pleasure, making you want to keep doing it over and over again. And there was a guy that did research on it and said that recent research on gambling has revealed a clinical course similar to that of addictions, and recent brain imaging findings show that cues associated with gambling activates reward structure in your brain, much the way addicted drugs do. The committee took the position that addiction is a disease of the reward system, and gambling affects brain reward structures that reinforce compulsive gambling behaviors. Thus, a behavior that activates the reward system can have the same effect as drugs. And most people don't know these things, but all these things have a similar effect on you, mentally and physically. Another thing that gambling does is affect you psychologically and your physical health. It really causes you to have depression and anxiety, just the effects of it, because you just feel so much pleasure going on. But at the end of the day, it can have so many consequences to you, and it cause a lot of money problems and physical health. And there was another guy that was related to the Rosenberg that said, gambling is harmful to psychological and physical health. People who live with this addiction may experience depression, migraine, distress, intestinal disorders, and other anxiety-related problems. As with other addictions, the consequences of gambling can lead to feelings of despondency and helplessness. In some cases, this can lead to attempts of suicide. And all these addictions can cause the same effect. It can really just end your life. And life is really precious, and we don't know the after effects to life. That's what we gotta make sure we surround ourselves with well-beings. And this might not be something that most people are addicted to, but another thing is social media. Most of the time when people are addicted to social media, they lose interest in other things. That's why it's bad for you to not use social media while doing homework, because it causes you to not focus on that and put all your effort into that social media. And that's why we can't do our well in school, because it really does affect our mental state. And there was a couple that talked about it and said technological addictions, as noted by Soper and Miller, like any other behavioral addiction, it consists of compulsive behavior involvement, a lack of interest in other activities, and physical and mental symptoms when attempted to stop these behaviors. And most of the time, the effects that we have is not during our addiction to the thing, but it's the withdrawals that we have trying to stop it. And most of the time, we realize what we're doing, but it's almost too late, and when we try to stop it, that's when all the effects are happening. Another problem with social media. And the reason why people do it is fear of missing out, FOMO. People are so focused on other people's lives and trying to see what other people are doing nowadays and forget about their own selves and compare with other people, not realizing that their life is getting worse, trying to fit into other people's lives. But there was a guy that was really focused on this problem, and he said that fear of missing out is a concept of comprising a persuasive apprehension that other people might be having a reward experience when one is absent, and a compulsive desire to keep up with other people are doing. Many empirical studies have proved that FOMO can lead to overuse of social media. This says right here that most of the time we overuse social media just because we're focused on other people's lives. And we care so much about other people, and most of the time people don't even really care about us. And we gotta really focus on our own lives and our own mental state and physical health. In conclusion, there are many addictions out there, and drugs are not the main effect on you. There can be other addictions that really bring you back from what you're really capable of. That's where you gotta watch out from your surroundings and your life and your doctrine, your morals, and really just realize what is really holding you back from your true potential. But I hope today it made you trigger something or think of something that might be holding you back.